Hello there, my name is Dale Fisher. I am the Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources in the district, former principal many years ago. My purpose of this screencast today is to show parents exactly how they will be expected to certify that their student is ready to enter the building upon return in our hybrid phase-in model. As you may or may not know, everyone who works in public schools or attends public schools has to certify that they are symptom-free to enter the buildings. The reason why the Assistant Super for HR is sharing this video with you is I created this tool for our staff. We've been using it for a couple months and it's worked pretty seamlessly for us. So we've expanded it to work for our students upon their return. So I've created this video to demonstrate to you how to work this process for your child each day before they enter the buildings. So let me show you what it's going to look like. There's going to be a number of ways that you could possibly click on the link that will bring you to the certification screen. The easiest one is you're going to get a reminder email multiple times in the morning. The email is going to come generally at like 6 a.m. to you, and then the final reminder roughly about 7:30 if you're an AM, or right before school opens up for the PM models. So when you get that email, I sent one to myself so you see what it looks like. You can click on that link. The good news is it's the same link every time. So if you are an AM or a PM family at your school, you can store this link as a bookmark. You can find a way to add it to your home screen on your phone. You could do the same thing for a home screen on a phone with an iPhone or with an Android device. You could stash it somewhere in your browser history, or you could just click on the link in the email you're going to get each day. So there's a multitude of ways you can have this link at the ready. The two easiest ways I'm going to show you now are to simply click on the link in the embedded email, which is here, or you can simply go to your school's home site. So we're going to select Kipling here. We go to Kipling, if you go to school information and at a glance. So that at a glance page will be on each school's page. We're just using Kipling as a model. And you'll see that we've set up a little test thing here just for purposes of this screencast. This won't be live until before school starts, but this is just for test purposes. You'll see two links right here. And we're going to pretty these up and put a little icon on them in the next couple days, but the links will be here and you'll get information from your principal about using these links. So two easiest ways are it's either embedded in an email that you're going to get, or just bookmark this page of your school's website to find it. So we're going to go on Kipling AM here. Although this will be the same, and you'll have to apply this depending on if you're an AM or PM family for your child's school. So we're going to go Kipling AM. It's going to be very simple. You're going to get this is a Google form. So when you're clicking on this Google form, this is going to become active at midnight for that day. So you can't enter a day ahead. It has to be the day of, per the guidance that we received. So at midnight is when it will open up. So at midnight, you'll be able to click on for the day that's coming up. So if today is 9/17, tomorrow 9/18, you won't be able to enter data for 9/18 until midnight. You'll click on next. You have to enter your child's first name. So I'm going to use my own name here and my last name, and then select your child's teacher. So a drop-down menu will pop up, and you're going to be looking for your child's teacher. It is important that you ensure that, this is going to seem strange, but believe it or not, it actually happens with staff. As we type fast, sometimes we misspell our name. This creates a unique algorithm in the background of this survey that tracks all of this data. So names have to be spelled correctly, and child's teacher, because that algorithm pulls this data together to create a unique identifier for your child. So behind the scenes, my name, Fisher with KOI2, creates a unique number where we're able to determine if you have self-certified or not. So we're going to hit next here. And then you're going to start answering the questions. And you've probably heard these questions come up many times if you're entering any public facility. Has your child received a confirmed diagnosis in the past 10 days? Select yes or no. Anytime you select yes, the office will get a flag saying that someone has notified you of a yes. That immediately kicks in the communication that The members of the office staff at any of the 6 schools will reach out to you to communicate with you. We anticipate 99% of people clicking no every day. And that's great. We still need to have that certification in place. It's the yeses that come through that we'll have to address. So I'm going to say no for 10 days. If you had close contact with anyone within the last 14 days, close contact, by definition, is 6 feet for more than 15 minutes in a given day. So again, I'm going to say no. Next, temperature. It is 100.4 degrees is the cutoff. So you have to check your child's temperature. Does the temperature exceed 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit? You're going to click yes, it does, if it exceeds. If it doesn't exceed 100.4, you're going to click my child's temperature does not exceed. So I'm going to click that for myself here. Symptoms. Has your child experienced any cold or flu-like symptoms in the last 14 days? And then we list out what the symptoms are here. It's a simple yes-no question. This is the one where the state changes the symptoms often. So we're always trying to keep this as up to date as we possibly can. This is the latest list of symptoms. And it's important to know that the state has identified new cough, new congestion, runny nose, new loss of taste, smell. Meaning there are a multitude of things in our own medical history and the medical history of our children that may impact how we answer these questions. It's something that you have to gauge. So you have to declare if any of these symptoms exist. If you click yes, down here you're going to identify what those symptoms are. So we'll say they have a fever, they have extreme fatigue. You can pick all that apply. If you click no, you still have to here select no symptoms displayed. So it will not allow you to leave this blank. You will not be able to move on. Note the red box around it. So you have to, if you have no symptoms, you have to say no symptoms displayed. If you have symptoms, you have to pick which symptoms apply. Okay? So I'm going to go no. I'm going to say no symptoms displayed, and then hit the next button. This is a fun question. Has your child returned from a location in another country with sustained widespread transmission designated as travel warning level 3? This does not apply to states. State to state for Lake County is not in play for us. It's in Cook County or the city of Chicago where state to state travel does impact your ability to move around. For Lake County, it is simply countries at this point that we're focusing on. So you're going to ask yourself, all right, what are those countries that are level warning 3? Easiest way to condense my response here is most of the planet right now is a travel warning level 3. At this point, last checked a week ago, there were only about 12 countries on the planet that were not at travel warning level 3, which most of those are islands in the Pacific Ocean with a couple of random countries here or there like New Zealand or Laos, I believe, were 2 other countries that weren't at level 3. So if you're traveling anywhere, you're an automatic 14-day quarantine when you return to the school. So if you're going to Mexico for a trip, or if you're going somewhere in Europe for a trip, those are all warning level 3s, mandatory 14-day quarantine. So you're going to have to click yes if that's the case. Feel free to check this on yourself. You can find it at the CDC website. Just put in what countries are travel warnings so that you know. But my last check was about a dozen, and those are pretty sparsely populated areas you would be heading to where you wouldn't be on travel warning 3. So I'm going to hit no, click next. Now you get to the final page. This is your symptom certification determination page. So you're taking everything you read there and basically determining, can I enter the building? If you answered yes to any of the questions, you cannot enter the building. Your child cannot enter the building. If you answered no to all of them, you certainly can. The travel warning 3, we specifically allows the 14-day quarantine, which I explained, and then there's phone numbers listed on here so that you can contact the nurse. But if you click yes to any of these, it's going to trigger an email to the office staff. They're going to be reaching out to you. All students are required to do this. So if you have multiple kids in the building, you're like, yeah, I got to do this multiple times, Dale, correct. So if you have 2, 3 kids in the building, 4 kids in the building, you hit submit here, and then the good news is it quickly jumps you to submit another response. So you hit next, and I'll use my wife, Melissa Fisher, and now you just start all over again. So we'll say she's in Karan's class, and et cetera, et cetera. So this is the daily certification process. On the back end, it's a giant spreadsheet that the office staff look at. It's color-coded. If people start hitting yeses and nos, it changes the colors of your student's response. They're able to quickly see live data. So the second I submitted it, on the spreadsheet that's in the office, it changes color for that particular student based off the key that they put in. It's a combination of teacher name and your child's last name that changes it from green, yellow, red. The building is looking for greens to be everyone who is clear, meaning that there's no issues from the building. Red are the flags. There's some yes responses. You shouldn't enter the building. Yellow means you haven't certified yet. So they are quickly pouring through the information as children are entering the building to say who is still a yellow, to make sure that they figure out if any students are trying to get into the building that haven't certified. And so that time frame when students start coming into when they enter the class is really a time frame where people are tracking down information to say which kids can enter and which kids can't enter, and trying to get a hold of parents to find out why that certification didn't take place, remind you that certification has to take place, and then working with you to certify the child if they are on site. Remember, this is individualized for AM and PM in each building, so it depends on which hybrid cohort you're in. This way, the office staff have a smaller spreadsheet to cross-check. You're talking half the building, so you can take 300, 400 kids, split in half, and now they're just looking through 200 names to make sure that the colors change based off of the responses. So I showed you the information for Kipling AM. It is an identical process that will be rolled out for all 6 schools, whether you're AM or PM. And principals will send out information on links and things like that as the time approaches where your child will be expected back on site, if that's the case. And they'll have that information for you. And email reminders will come out daily, whether you certified or not. So they're just general reminder emails to do it. The first one is roughly going to go out at 6 a.m. The second one is going to go out at 7:30 for the day. And then they have to be completed by the time that your child is supposed to enter the building. So I hope this is helpful for you. Wish you the best. Good luck on phasing back into school.